Hey everyone, my name is Drew. Welcome to Novelytic. Today I'm going to be taking you through my quarter one stats. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the statistics of what I've read so far in 2021 from January to March. This first quarter, I read a total of 37 books. I do want to mention that 9 of these books were either read through my job, so my teaching job, or through graduate school, so that sort of skews some of my statistics later on, but that's okay. So in terms of my star ratings, I have this nice little chart here. Out of all of this, I had 7 5 stars, 12 4 stars, 10 3 stars, 1 2 star, 0 1 stars, and then I have 7 books that are not rated. Sometimes I always worry about quality versus quantity, but I do believe that this first beginning, it's a pretty quality month. I mean, 3 isn't a bad rating. The fact that the majority of my books are 5 or 4 stars is, yes. I have been having a great time reading, and honestly, my 2 star was one of the books that I read for teaching because my student was reading it. So I don't feel as bad about that. In terms of my format, I read a total of 18 physical books, 15 ebooks, and then 10 books audibly. Really? That's not true. And I read 4 books via audio. And then quickly, in terms of, I guess, the type, I read 16 standalones, 12 books that are a part of series, 3 rereads, and then 6 arcs. And now for my favorite graphic. So in terms of my genre breakdown, I have 10 fantasies, 5 dystopians, 4 nonfictions, 4 graphic novels, 4 categorized as other, 4 collections of poetry, 2 contemporaries, 2 historical fictions, 1 collection of short stories, and 1 manga. So I am actually kind of appalled at this. I was expecting fantasy to be up there. That's the thing. As for my dystopians, I do enjoy my dystopian books. However, those 4 of those 5 books were specifically for, in my 9th grade class, they were doing dystopian book clubs, but that was a little bit skewed there. Usually my dystopian level is a little bit lower. And I think the most shocking is that I don't have any classics on here. Like, my first book of the year was The Return of the King, the 3rd installment for The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. That could technically be considered a classic, but I counted that more in the fantasy realm. I have some work to do, and it's so interesting because now that we're in April, because I am filming this in April, I'm finding myself craving classics. I'm like, oh, I need to read this and that. And I want to read it so bad, and it makes sense because I've been depriving myself of classics. So there will be more classics in your future. In regards to the target audience, I read 14 adult books, 14 young adult books, 8 middle grades, and 1 children's book. And my last stat for you today is just fiction versus nonfiction. I have read a total of 25 books that are classified as fiction, and then 12 books classified as nonfiction. So my top 5 books of this quarter, in no particular order, is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, The Raven and the Reindeer, Honey Girl, Persepolis, and The Black Tides of Heaven. My least favorite book was Shatter Me. And then, just as like an honorable mention, the most heartwarming book I read was Book Love. Within those 3 months, in terms of page count, I read a total of 9,220 pages. So I love tracking my reading. There's just something so nice about seeing the statistics, which is so weird because I hate numbers. Like, I don't like looking at numbers, I don't like working with numbers, I don't like crunching numbers, which is a shame. But I love seeing all the graphs and the graphics. It helps me reflect on my reading. Like, for example, I probably would have never have known that I wasn't really reading classics when, like, I love reading classics. So it makes me really think. Just in terms of some goals for the next quarter, so from April to June, I would like to read more classics. That's an obvious one. So that includes, classics, but also more contemporary classics. I think that's really the big one. I also want to read more poetry. I went through my poetry. If the video already is up, I will link it in the cards. If not, I will update it. in the description box, but I own like almost 50 volumes of poetry, so I need to work through that part of my physical TBR. My last goal is to work through my physical TBR, not depending on the library. I use the library so much, and I love my library, don't get me wrong, and I absolutely love that I can just go ahead and look on like their ebook section and use Libby and whatnot to download books. It is so easy to take out books, but I need to stop that because I'm literally taking out too many books that I can't keep up, and then I don't finish them when they have to be returned, and it just becomes a mess. So yeah, those are my 3 goals for the next upcoming quarter. All right, and that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.